I moved 2 or 3 weeks ago, and my new place is so much better than the last one. When I'm filming, I don't have to look at people because I have to face the window for the better light. It's so much better now. I'm on the first floor in Germany, second floor in normal world, but it's balcony. No one is looking at me, so it's very nice. I'll be talking about things that I've read, watched in October and September. First thing on my list is a book that I really liked when I was reading it, Sword of Kaiden. I'm pretty sure it's one of the most popular self-published books, fantasy books on the internet, and I don't even remember where I found out about that book. I think it's probably one of the YouTube videos I've watched. It's basically an adult version of Avatar universe, and this book has two main characters. Mamoru, a very young samurai that was raised and born in a very traditional small village. He doesn't really know a lot of things outside of his village and what's going on around the world. And then his mother is the second main character. So Mamoru's dad's side of the family are very noble warriors that can control ice and water. All the videos that we'll be filming from now on, you probably shouldn't watch if you haven't read or watched them, because I'll be just saying spoilers here and there, and I don't want to accidentally say something that people don't know or wouldn't want to know before starting the book or movie, TV series, whatever. One of the things I liked in the book were two main characters, which are, as I said, Mamoru and Misaki. I think other characters are okay. I liked his friend, I forgot his name, but the friend who was new in the village and whose father was building towers to get like telephone connections and things like that. I really liked him at the beginning, and I thought that would develop his character a little more. So after a small time skip, we didn't really get to know him more or anything. We know almost nothing about his father. And I think all the side characters are okay. They're not annoying, they're not bad, but they're not exceptional, like Mamoru and Misaki. It has very strong emotional moments that are very like emotional action scenes. They have a lot of emotional action scenes which I really like. I mean, first one is obviously the death of Mamoru, which was super unexpected because when I was reading it, I knew where it was going kind of, but I thought he would maybe survive. He would be like disabled or something like that, but he just died, and it was actually very sad. I thought he would still come back to life, but after the funeral, after they found his body, obviously I realized, okay, he's not coming back. And it's just the action scenes even before that, when they were fighting the Air Nation, it was still very cool. Just the fact that they had like not a lot of people fighting for them, and they were able to fight back against this well-trained soldiers. And obviously the second scene that sticks out is Misaki and oh my god, I forgot his name. Wait. Fuck. Anyway, I forgot the father's name. I'm too lazy to look it up. But basically, Misaki fighting her husband was a very interesting action scene. Very well written, very fast, very emotional, engaging, blah blah blah. I think this book has one of the best mother characters out there. Misaki was definitely a little more developed than Mamoru, just because she has very interesting history and also more development. I did like how she was not only a good mother but also a good warrior, and it felt very believable. A lot of the times I think when people make or like just parent characters, they're either good parents or they're useless, or they are good warriors or have very important cool skills but they're shit parents. And I think she is both. She's a good warrior, she's a good mother, and it just seems very believable. She's not Mary Sue or anything. I also like the section of into it in section, but the theme they had about propaganda and how if you live in this small circle, small village, you don't get information outside the world. You just believe what you're told and what your parents tell you, your family tells you. I think that's what I liked in the first part of the book, before the action scenes starts to happen, before the time skip, where Mamoru was always arguing with his new friend about what's actually happening, what government is trying to tell them, things like that. I thought was very interesting. It, I guess, reminded me of some people who are living right now, who are very, not delusional, but very stubborn, and they only have one point of view, and they don't even want to talk about other options or believe that there's something else out there. And I like how Mamoru didn't change his opinion right away. Again, obviously he's going to be a little more aggressive at the beginning, because he believes in his empire and things like that. But after the time skip, he's actually starts asking himself more questions. He starts asking his dad, his mom, and we'll talk about the husband slash father a little bit later. But I really enjoyed seeing his progression. I really enjoyed seeing the development of their relationship. I mean, Mamoru and Misaki, it was very wholesome. And yeah, again, Misaki's relationship with her kids were described in a very interesting way. The fact that she didn't like her husband, and that's why she felt resentment towards all of his kids, because she didn't even look at them as her kids. It's just his. It's what needs to be done for his family. And it was so heartwarming to see, again, some small scenes here and there with Mamoru and her youngest baby. I forgot, Izumaki, I think that was his name. Yeah, it was just very nice. It was very nice to see it. I have talked about things I didn't like that much, which was pacing a little bit at the beginning and at the end. So at the beginning was very slow. It was very hard to read, at least for me. It was just not interesting, and I think I started to regret buying the book in the first place. But again, it picked up after a few chapters, and after Misaki was introduced as a character. I mean, at the end, the last chapter was a little weird. The Robin coming back, it didn't really make sense, or they're trying to, the author, she was trying to set up the next book, but it didn't work. I've read somewhere that she maybe was thinking about it, but then decided not to go through with the second book. So the last chapter felt very unnecessary to me. I feel very weird about her husband. I don't know if I like the fact that she started loving him at the end. I kind of wish that they would just stay like good parents, I guess, but there won't be any romantic feelings involved, because he has done so much fucked up shit throughout the years. He's been oppressing her, and it's just bad. It's just very bad relationship, very toxic relationship. And maybe it's just me, I just don't think that she should have forgiven him that fast. Or if she did, it would be just strictly like friendship / co-parenting kind of situation, and not really lovers. But I don't know, sometimes I think about it and I kind of like it. Maybe I just needed more of him, to see more of him. Or I just want him to do more things for her specifically and for the family, even though he did start, again, helping the village and things like that, and they talked, they fought, blah blah blah, but I still wanted to see more of him. So maybe instead of the last chapter about Robin, they should have shown us what he actually did to repay Misaki and repay his kids for the years of, like, not abuse, for Misaki abuse, but for kids it was more of like not being there. It would be nice if we saw more of his actions, I guess. Oh, also plot with the kidnapping was so random. Not so random, but it was just happened at the end, and we talked about it like, oh yeah, this person just kidnaps all the kids from different nations to build a strong army, and then it's just again nothing. But that was the problem that I talked about setting up the second book. Overall, I still really liked it. I wish that again the beginning was. I wish the beginning would be a little faster and the last chapter would be shorter or replaced by something else. But it's still a good read. I think I would give it a strong 8 out of 10. We're gonna be talking about the movie, the last movie that I saw in the movie theater, Smile 2. I actually went by myself because I knew a lot of my friends would want to go, and I really like going to the cinemas. And I've heard that the movie is good from Moist, so I thought I might as well go and check it out. I realized I haven't seen Smile 1. I thought I've seen it, but it was Truth or Dare, just because they're so, at least to me, they seem very similar. Even though I've watched a lot of horror movies as a kid, I've watched all horror movies from 2000 to 2010, and after that I think I kind of stopped watching that. I would just rewatch things I watched as a kid. But Smile 2, I would give it, okay, well, I'll explain what I liked and disliked. At first, I really like all the actors. I think the main actress, she did such a good job portraying her character, very empathetic. I was very empathetic towards her. I like the assistant, who was nice. The plot is nothing special, nothing new. It was just very good executed. I think a lot of the scenes I liked, especially the first scene where there's like a very long one-shot action scene, and I really liked it. And then I remember there's like a few jump scares here that were quite fun. I was always scared. I was so scared of screaming in the movie theater because I thought it was a little embarrassing, but I didn't do that. I was covering my mouth, but it was unnecessary. I didn't make any noises. The only thing that was very annoying in the movie theater was there was like a group of German girls, maybe teenagers or teenagers or young adults, but I think they're like laughing. They start laughing at one point. I don't remember when exactly. It was just at the beginning. Maybe I don't even know. I don't even remember anything that was even close to being funny. Maybe they just said something to each other and they started laughing very loudly. They were quite loud throughout the first few scenes, but then someone just told them to shut the fuck up. With the Smile 2, I like the scene. Some of the scenes I like guessing what was the hallucination was happening in reality. The only thing that I did not like is, and I found a little disappointing, is the end. I think it was very obvious, and it always happens when it comes to curses or things like that. Like, oh yeah, the end. The curse is everywhere, everyone is fucked, the world is dying, blah blah blah. I liked it at first when I saw it, but then it got really repetitive. I kind of wish she would just kill herself or something like that, just stop the curse from spreading. And also, she was hallucinating about her accidentally killing her mother, and then at the end, it was revealed that she actually didn't do that. She didn't do a lot of fucked up shit, a lot of crimes that we saw earlier, and I thought it was a little disappointing. But overall, I'll give it a 6.5. It was nice. I would never watch it again, but I didn't regret going to the cinema for it. I recommend me to read Eragon. I think it's very popular young adult series, and I couldn't finish it. It's one of the few books that I just couldn't go through, and I also told myself that okay, if I read half of the book and it's still not enjoyable, I would just stop reading it, which I did with this one. I think it's not bad, but there's nothing new. Characters were not super interesting to me personally at first. Maybe I'm sure they will have like some kind of development later, but I just did not enjoy it that much. I also thought it's weird that dragons communicating in whatever language that, I mean, I know it's in your mind, but reading thoughts, but just the fact that she was talking, it just made me feel very weird. I don't know. I didn't really like that. I wish the communication tab was a little different to me, because maybe he could read her emotions and he would think, okay, he would just think about more and not just like sentences from Dragon. It just feels odd. With animals that can speak, it's always hit or miss. You either make them very, very charismatic, funny, or just don't. Just don't do it. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just you either can have, the first thing comes to my mind, a cat from Alice in Wonderland, or again like just a pet that doesn't talk. Because if they start talking, I don't know, I just lose interest in them. Maybe it's weird, maybe it's my problem. If it's your childhood book, no, I have nothing against it. I've read all the Percy Jackson series, and I also read something else. I haven't read Harry Potter actually. I also dropped the series because I didn't like it. I think I started reading it at 14 and didn't really, it wasn't really my thing. I do have a cup and a jacket, but I'm not a biggest fan. I just like houses and putting people in them. I think in September watched a movie, Get Out, which is also, I think it counts as a horror movie, but I would say it's a thriller that has some horror elements in it. And I really like, again, I think in a lot of horror movies you have very good actors there. I liked all the characters, at least their acting, and I think the music was nice, the atmosphere was good, comedic relief character was a little odd sometimes. In some scenes he would be funny, in some scenes it would be too much, for me at least. But this movie just makes you feel creeped out. Overall, 7. Actually, yeah. I forgot to turn off my lights in my bathroom. Throughout the movie, I was waiting for the meme scenes where he was like crying. I've also rewatched Aliens vs Predators, and I still really enjoyed it. There's a lot of things, a lot of scenes that I actually remember pretty clearly. The ending I remember. There's like one scene where Alien was fighting one of the predators, and it was so long. It was so unexpected too. I thought it would just be like Alien would attack Predator, Predator would attack him, and they would just run away from each other or something. But the fighting scene was like 15 minutes. It was crazy long. Of this movie took place on my birthday, 10th of October, so that's fun. From the beginning, there was like sexual tension between the main character and all of the cast, like the blonde girl, the weird nerd guy, then the Italian guy, the predator. The sexual tension between the predator and the main character was crazy. I wish it was her. We watched Hercules. I think I realized that I have a problem with watching animated movies for kids, specifically now. Even though they're good, like Hercules, I can see that it's good. I just cannot rewatch them. I think if I watch it, if it would be my first time, if it was my first time, I would enjoy it. But the second time I would never do it. I think it's the same with Puss in Boots too, or I'm trying to remember other good movies. I can't. Oh, the only exception is Ice Age. I can rewatch Ice Age every day and I'll still enjoy it. But Hercules, a lot of music scenes I didn't really like that much. Obviously, whenever the ladies were singing, I liked it a lot. And it also has one of my favorite songs, Go the Distance. I like Meg's voice. I don't know why. I just have problems with musicals in general. It's like my least favorite genre of films. I've also watched Madame Web, the shitty Marvel movie with my friend, and it was actually more enjoyable than, I forgot the name, where the weird actor was playing in Jared Leto. I'm very bad at pronouncing names of celebrities, but I forgot the name. I was gonna say masturbation. No, wait, Morpheus. Yes, Morpheus. It was better than Morpheus. I think even though it was dumb, it was still more enjoyable. It was a little boring, but it was actually quite likable. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the plot. I've watched like a month ago and I forgot everything about it. I just remember at one point they were dancing on the table in front of teenage boys, which I didn't really get. I've also read a book. It's a retelling of the Ariadne story from Greek mythology, and I really liked it. I know there's a lot of retelling of Greek mythology stories out there, but this is my first one. Maybe that's why I enjoyed it. But I really like the main character. Very fun read. Also a little unexpected because I thought the most of the book is gonna be about her helping TT, fuck, what's his name? TH, the guy to go through labyrinth and kill Minotaur. But it wasn't really about that. When she looked at him and he was just gorgeous man, I started feeling things about him, and that he was a dick and he betrayed her, and I still really liked him because in my head he was very hot. So it was still hard to let go. I thought it was gonna be some spicy romance here, some erotica, but not really, which is fun. When she married Dionysus, it was very sad to see his development, character development, I guess, how he started to look at things and how he started to react. I mean, he just started to become like all the other gods. So it was a little sad to see. Her death was not really unexpected. I think I saw it coming, but it's still a little sad. And oh, okay, let's talk about her sister. I forgot about that. What? Because what the fuck? She was so delusional. For some reason, again, I can't remember what examples, but I have a feeling that a lot of characters in Greek mythology or just in stories specifically, they always have one specifically younger sister that is extremely dumb. Or not even dumb, it just, she does a lot of weird shit, and maybe she was just unlucky to get in situations like that. But the fact that she fell in love with her stepson, hey, maybe that's where the fantasy came from, but she fell in love with him, and even though there's like, he gave her no signs that he liked her, she was so convinced that he was into her. I'm a virgin, I love horses, I don't want to be with anyone, and I respect my father, things like that. And when her sister was telling her, yeah, please don't do that, she just didn't listen. And she killed herself and her stepson as well, because Theseus, which to be fair, I was very surprised by his reaction. He maybe started liking or loving her name a little more than I thought he would. So that was nice to see, I guess. Overall, I think I'll give this book a 7. I liked it. I liked it. I think it was very nice. It was not short, not long, perfect length, and characters were nice. And I guess I learned a little more about Greek mythology, even though I googled it and a lot of sources say a lot of different things about the ending, actual ending of Ariadne, but I don't know. I've also read this manga, All You Need Is Kill, from the creator of Death Note. Yes, creator of Death Note. And I don't know if I liked it. I really like the art in this one. It's very nice. It's very nice. I think the story is pretty predictable. You could have just guessed that, oh yeah, there's definitely gonna be lovers. They'll fall in love, and one of them is gonna die for the other. The execution is still nice. The whole mimic things, I really like their art style. Not art style, but their design. Maybe wish that the fight at the end that they had was a little longer and was a little more violent. But it's okay. He looks like Light here. Does he? Does he not? He looks like Light. I also realized that on this page it's him, and on this one it's her. I thought it was him on both sides. But I would give this read a 6. I didn't dislike it, but I also didn't really act to like it, which is, to be fair, very hard when you only have, it's just a one shot, so you don't really have a lot of time with the character. Trying to remember if there's anything else that I've read or watched. I don't think so. Oh my god, yes. Okay, I remember now. I read Poor People by Dostoevsky. It's the name of the book in English, but if I translate, it's just Poor People by Dostoevsky. And it was very interesting. I think I'll try to read classics a little more now, because I do enjoy my fantasy books and things like that, but it just very nice once in a while to change things up a little bit. This book is a little sad. It's actually very sad, very depressing, like all of the Russian classic books. The one thing I'm very confused about is like, oh, they were lovers, right? What and I think they were. I thought it was just like pure father daughter relationship kind of. But then I was talking to my cousin. She was like, oh yeah, but this is like a romance thingy. I'm like, what? I was very confused by that. Because in my head, also, while I was reading it, I imagined the main character to be like very old man, like 70, 80 years old, and she was like 20, in her 20s. So this whole thing I found a little gross. But it's just basically a story about two lovers slash friends. I don't know which one is it, but they just keep exchanging letters and telling about their lives to each other, what's happening, what they're doing, blah blah blah. And I think it was very nice. I think my favorite part of the book was the main girl's backstory. That was very tragic. I felt very bad throughout it, and also her first love, the student guy. I felt very bad for him, but also is he a groomer? Questionable. I think he is, because he's like 20 and she's like 14, 15. So potential case right there. It just makes me sad to think about like real life, I guess, which is good for the book. But I just always think about all the people who are very poor, which is quite a lot, unfortunately. And even though we can provide how houses, food, water to everyone, literally everyone in the world, and it's just very sad to see that we are not doing that. I think that was it for this month. Maybe I'll be posting some other things here and there. I feel very inspired right now because of my new apartment. I saw how nice my setup is. I thought this whole time I would have like that. Oh my god, okay. I thought this whole time I'd have like a nice background with screens. And no. Oh my. Okay, wait. Well, you can see them now. I hope it was not like that for the most part. Probably was, but Black Butler, my love, my boo. I really liked him too. And Undertaker also has a place in my heart. Amnesia game slash anime. I've played the game, and my favorite one was him, obviously, at first, and anime as well. I mean, he is the main guy. He's the main guy. I liked him. He was a very nice friend. He was a good friend. He's very sweet, very nice. And then I think my second favorite was this guy, like a Joker, and I got not a good ending with him. I think at the end we like died. The main character, I died, and then he just becomes angry and tries to and says that he's gonna try to kill the person that killed me. Not super sure about that, but I think that's the ending that I got. I was super pissed. Then goes this guy. If you don't know, this is a spoiler for Amnesia game and the anime. He's crazy. He puts us in a cage and treats us like a pet. He's my third favorite though. I didn't really get to. I don't know if I played this route. I don't think so. And he's a little boring. I don't really like him. But that's it.